Welcome to my Itty Bitty Chapel. My name is Patty Chaffee. I'm the community minister at Niantic Community Church, a spiritual director, and an expressive arts facilitator. And this is my Itty Bitty Chapel, and it's a midweek opportunity on Wednesdays, just a short time to kind of focus on a spiritual word or phrase and kind of just reflect on it. It's an opportunity to kind of relax and center ourselves in a very hectic time. Our candles remind us that Spirit is with us and is within us and around us always. We've heard that two things are certain in life: death and taxes. I think that was Ben Franklin said that. But I'd like to add one other. I think that change is inevitable. So change is another thing we can count on with certainty. I have a friend who used to, she told me a few years back that something that really stuck with me for some reason, maybe because she was so right. But what she said to me about change was that I don't mind making it as long as, I don't mind change as long as I'm the one making it. And she was absolutely right. And I wonder if that's true of many of us. We don't mind change as long as we're the one making it. But when it's thrust upon us, maybe not so much. You know, change can be very difficult. Can be very difficult for us. I've made some changes to my altar this week. I added a chalice that I have. It's a pottery chalice. They came from another country. I forget what country it was made in, but it's handmade and it's very kind of irregular and not perfect, and I just love it. And it's got a cross here etched in it. And I got it just before the holidays last year when we were offering a healing prayer service at our church. And I wanted it to hold the anointing oil that we were using for blessing folks. And so I decided to bring that in and put it on my little altar space here. And this is the anointing oil that I used. And I like having this here because I can open it and smell the scent of frankincense and myrrh, which, if I dare say, smells just heavenly. And so I kind of keep that here with that chalice, and that's kind of a special thing for me to have. And every now and then I make some tiny changes here because something's calling to me, or I'll be on the beach and I pick up a rock or a shell or something and I'll add that to what I have here because it feels good, it feels right. And tiny changes in our life can make a big difference. They can refresh us in some way. And I'm a big furniture rearranger, and every now and then I will rearrange our living room, and my partner would be very content if nothing ever changed. And but he's with me, so every now and then I rearrange the living room, and it feels like a whole new space to me. So change can be good, you know, and tiny changes can be good too. I think they tend to be more long-lasting rather than big cataclysmic changes. But easing into change can be very nice. You don't always have that option, though, do you? We know that by circumstances surrounding us right now, right? So, and Tolstoy said, true life is lived when tiny changes occur. And I wonder what he meant by that. But I'm going to spend some time thinking about that. Yep, true life is lived when tiny changes occur. I need to look into that, but I found that statement interesting. So, John Maxwell wrote that change is inevitable and growth is optional. So how often do we grow from the changes that are around us? You know, that's a really good thing to think about, because we're going to have change. Change is going to happen in life. It's the nature of the journey, right? And so much change is happening for so many people. I don't know that the coronavirus has left anyone untouched. in some way or another. And so we can grow from what is happening in our life, even while we are also being devastated by it in some way. And I see so much goodness happening. I think many of us do. I hear so many people commenting on all of the good that they are seeing come out of this, that we're all just slowing down and being with family, being with loved ones, and just getting in touch with ourselves and our loved ones and what's important in life. And so that's just one thing that's come out of this so far, and I hope it will become a long-lasting change for all of us. Wayne Dyer was a prolific writer. We lost him not too long ago, but he was a spiritual soul and maybe a mystic for our time. And he said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And I love that because it's really an invitation to possibility, isn't it? To really consider how we perceive things. If we change our perspective, our whole experience of things can change. And I find that a fascinating possibility in life. You know, sometimes, just today, I was having a problem with something, and my partner came in and did some thing that was he stepped on something, a blanket on the floor, and it just like, I just said, like, what are you doing? But really what was going on was I was upset about this other thing, so I was going to remove myself from the situation, and he said, where are you going? I said, I'm mad at the world right now, and you just stepped on my quilt, and I'm going to go in here and center myself. So, and that's what I did. But, you know, just getting perspective, that was the reality of it. It wasn't, you know, cataclysmic that he stepped on my quilt. It was that I was upset about something else. He happened to be there. And so the best thing for me to do was for me to remove myself from the situation and just kind of take some breaths, get perspective, which I did, and then return to the situation to get things straightened out. But yeah, perspective is huge, and how we see things, how we see challenges in life, is everything. It shapes where we go from there, and it shapes our experience of those challenges. I heard a story I wanted to share with you, and it begins once upon a time. I love once upon a time stories. So once upon a time, there was an unfortunate poor man. His home was also very poor, a small and empty house where mice made their nests and spiders made their webs. People tried to avoid coming into the house, he thought. Why should they go into such ruins, a place of such ruins? And the poor man thought that poverty is the reason for his misfortunes. So once the man met a wizard and complained to him about his poverty and unhappy life. The wizard felt sorry for the poor man and gave him a very special vase and said, this is a magic vase that will save you from poverty. The man took the vase and wanted to sell it at first and use the money for less than ideal things. He figured, why would he need such a beautiful thing? But then he started admiring the vase and couldn't take it to the market. He brought the vase home, put it on a table, and started admiring it. It's not right for such a beautiful thing to be empty, the poor man thought. So he picked some wildflowers and put them into the vase. It became even more beautiful. Not good, the man thought again, that such a beautiful thing stands next to a spider web. So the poor man started cleaning his house from spider webs, sweeping out cockroaches and mice, cleaning the dust, washing the floor and the walls, even whitening the ceiling. And it became clear that his house wasn't poor at all, but rather warm and cozy. And the poor man wasn't a poor man anymore. but a hard-working host who had no time for thoughts about misfortune. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. I'll be thinking of you during this quarantine time and keeping you all in prayer. And I'd like to leave you with a song by Karen Drucker called The Winds of Change. And until next time, the God in me salutes the God in you. Namaste. Enjoy this wonderful song.
Take me with you, I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change shape and blow. Now I am willing to see another part of me. Take me with you, I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change shape and blow. Now I am willing to see another part of me. Take me with you. Take me with you. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change. Let the winds of change shape and blow. Shape and blow. Now I am willing to start a brand new chapter of my heart. Take me with you, I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change shape and blow. Now I am willing to make a choice. This new path needs my voice. Take me with you, I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change